Hey everyone, welcome to the mid-unit 1, the substitution review. I apologize if I'm a bit hard to understand. My voice is feeling pretty hoarse today. But with that out of the way, I'm going to do all the ones that say we do, and you do the ones that say I do, okay? So, the very first one, it looks like this is the easiest equation, that's the second easiest, that's the third easiest. So I'm going to work from the bottom to the top. I'm going to start by solving this one for x. So anytime you see a number directly by a letter, you have to divide it out. So I'm going to get x equals 6. And with x equals 6, I can go ahead and plug that in to this equation right there. So I have 4 times 6 plus 6y equals 60. So 4 times 6 is 24 plus 6y equals 60. That means I have to minus the 24 over, and 60 minus 24 is 36. And 36 divided by 6 is y. See how I separated that number by the letter by dividing? Now if it's just adding or subtracting, of course you just do the opposite, right? So it's positive 24, that's why I minus the 24. But anyway, 36 divided by 6 makes y equal to 6. So now I know to plug in 6 for y and 6 for x. So I got 4x plus 6y. So 4 times 6 plus 6 times 6 plus 5z equals 70. So plus 5z equals 70. If you hear any heavy breathing in the background, I'm not sure how sensitive this mic is, but if you do, that's my child, that's my 1-year-old. She's sick today. She got what I got. So she's sleeping on my shoulder as I'm working this out. So I get 24 plus 36 and then plus 5z equals 70. So 24 plus 36 is 60. So I have 60 plus 5z equals 70. So now I got to get rid of that 60, so I'm going to minus it over because it was a positive 60. And then I get 5z equals 10. 5z equals 10. So I have to get rid of the 5 by dividing it, because 5z means 5 times z, so the opposite of that is divide. And 10 divided by 5 is 2. So z equals 2. And we are done. Just for the area that says solution, go ahead and write it as an ordered triple, which is 6, 6, 2, x, y, z, and that's it. Alright, so you might want to pause the video and work out number 2. I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 3. So it looks like it's in order, in declining order like the other one was. I'll work with this equation first, then plug into that one, then plug into that one. So I see that if I can just minus 6z over on this bottom equation, I get y equals 20 minus 6z for my y equals statement. So I'm going to take that 20 minus 6z and plug it in right there. So it's going to say x plus, and then I don't have to distribute anything, so I don't need the parentheses because it was just an x plus y. So x plus 20 minus 6z now plus 6z equals 14. So if you notice, negative 6z plus 60 makes 0. So it says x plus 20 equals 14. And so what number plus 20 equals 14? Well, if you're stuck on that, you know you can just minus 20 to the other side. And 14 minus 20 is going to get you negative 6. Alright, so I get x equals negative 6, and I have y equals 20 minus 6z. So I still don't know exactly what y is, but I know enough information to plug in for x and then plug in for y. So I have 6x, so 6 times negative 6, plus y, so plus 20 minus 6z, and then it says plus 6z again equals 14. Alright, so we got, this makes negative 36 plus 20, and then negative 6 plus 6 is 0. So it equals 14. So let's see what this makes. This is going to say negative 16 equals 14. So you got to think about when we first did notes over this. That is not true. This is a false statement. If you ever get a false statement, remember that means there is no solution. Alright, so once you get to a false statement, you can just stop. You don't have to try and figure out if y equals a number as well. You're done with this. That's the answer to this one. Because all my variables canceled out and it equaled a false statement. If it had equaled a true statement, it would have been infinitely many solutions. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be super thorough. Write no solution right here. Alright, let's move on to number 4. It's a word problem. So Billy's restaurant ordered 200 flowers for Mother's Day. They ordered carnations. They ordered carnations at $1.50 each, roses at $5.75 each, and daisies at $2.60 each. They ordered mostly carnations and 20 fewer roses than daisies. The total order came to $589.50. How many of each type of flower was ordered? So the first thing we need to do is define our variables. We have 3 types of flowers, and then the question is asking for how many of each type. So I'll put like number of on all these, because it's good to be specific. What are you looking for? Are you looking for the number of something or the price of it? And then I'm always going to use X, Y, Z. So let's not forget that, because I almost did. So we get X, Y, Z. Alright, put some colons here. Okay, so X can be the number of, I just do it in order. It said carnations, roses can be Y, and daisies can be Z. So carnations. My handwriting's very bad, so I hope you have the audio on. This is an A. Okay. Carnations, roses, daisies. Because if you didn't have the volume on, you might be like, what's that say? You still might be thinking that, though. Alright, so I got my variables defined. Anytime there's like a transaction, you get dollar amounts, right? So dollar amount, and a total dollar amount. That's going to make one of the equations. It says he ordered 200 flowers. Well, we know what kind of flowers he ordered. Carnations, roses, and daisies. So that's going to make another equation. And then this sentence here, they ordered mostly carnations and 20 fewer roses and daisies. That'll make another equation. But so I got my eye on these 3 types of sentences. So I'm just going to do it in order that they came. He ordered 200 flowers for Mother's Day. So he ordered some X, some Y, and some Z for 200 flowers total. Excuse me. Next, I'm going to work with all the dollar amounts. $1.50X, $5.75Y, $2.60Z equals to the total dollar amount of $589.50. Okay, so there's that equation. 150X plus 575Y plus 260Z equals $589.50. And then this sentence here, they ordered mostly carnations and 20 fewer roses. That's the important part. 20 fewer roses than daisies. So you ordered less roses than daisies. So I'm not going to say roses minus 20 because I ordered less of them. So why would I want to take away 20 from what I already have less of? So I'm going to do daisies minus roses. Daisies minus 20. So daisies minus 20 is z for daisies minus 20. And that'll equal the number of roses. So it'll equal y. So I have y equals z minus 20. And those will be my three correct equations. So this is the hard part, formulating the equations. And then we're going to go ahead and substitute. I'd write small. But yeah, I have y equals z minus 20. So I can take that and I can plug it into either equation. I feel like it'd be easiest to do it into this one. So I'm going to have x plus y, or x plus z minus 20, plus z equals 200. So your z's do not cancel out because the minus is going with a 20, not with one of the z's. So you have z plus z. So it says x plus 2z minus 20 equals 200. And of course you can add that 20 to the other side to get 220. And so at this point, am I going to solve this for x or am I going to solve this for z? And so looking at this, the y equals, the z was on the other side. So to me it's going to make the most sense to get this z on the other side as well. So I'm going to minus 2z over, and I'll have a statement for x. I get x equals negative 2z plus 20, 220, or 220 minus 2z, it doesn't matter. But now I need to take both of these statements and sub them into the very top, or the very middle equation. So let me show you what that's going to look like. But yeah, change this to 220. I had mistakenly written down 200 again. Negative 2z plus 220. Okay, so plugging in x, I get 1.5, and then x was negative 2z plus 220. Plugging in y was z minus 20, so it's going to say plus 575 times z minus 20. Then bring down the plus 2z equals 589. So we got some distributing to do. And so we need to distribute 1.5 times these two terms. And then I need to distribute 5.75 times these two terms. And then I'll just bring down the plus 2z equals 589. Okay, so doing 1.5 times negative 2z gets me negative 3z. 1.5 times 220 gets me 330. 5.75 times z is 5.75z. 5.75 times negative 20 is negative 115. Bring down the plus 2z, bring down the equals 589.5. Now look, we only have the letter z, so we can combine like terms. So I have negative 3z plus 5.75z plus 2z. And then also I have 330 minus 115 for my other like terms. Okay, so negative 3 plus 5.75 is 2.75. Sorry, plus 2 is 4.75. And then 330 minus 115 is 215. So here's this. So that means I have to minus 215 over. And then 589.5 minus 215 is 374.5. Bring down the 4.75z. So now that means I have to divide by 4.75. So 374.5 divided by 4.75 gets you 78.84. So that obviously is a confusing answer because you can't have 0.84 of a rows. So we're just going to round that up to 79. All right. This is where I get to blame somebody else. I didn't write this problem. So whoever did probably just kind of made up some numbers for some equations. But yeah, we'll just use 79, and since 79 was Z, we'll do 79 daisies. And if we get any decimals for the next three answers, we'll just round them up to the whole number, nearest whole number. So y equals Z minus 20. So I'm going to go y equals 79 minus 20. So y equals 59, and that was roses. And then what do I have left? X equals negative 2z plus 220. So x equals negative 2 times 79 plus 220. That's going to give me x equals 62 carnations. And that's it for my solution. We found out how many of each flower, and if you want to write it as an ordered triple, that of course would be 62, that's x, 59, that's y, and 79, that's z. And that actually does add up to 200 when you plug it back into that x plus y plus z one. But yeah, that's going to draw the we do part to a close. When you're working on this next one down here, if you get a weird answer like this, I would just round it up to the nearest whole number and plug it into the other two. And then this one should be fine. Whether you get a weird number or not, it doesn't matter because it's not a word problem. So with that being said, thank you for watching. You can make any kind of notes you want on a note card and bring that for the test. Finish the rest of the review. I'll give you extra credit. Make sure you turn it in before the test though. Alright, no extra credit if you turn it in after the test. Okay? Alright, thank you. Bye.